We are live. Hello, YouTube. Welcome to an afternoon discussion with Callaway. I'm going to let people trickle in. I've got Callaway product here on my right. We'll be joined shortly by some gentlemen from Callaway to answer all your questions. There's the man, D-Nevs himself.
What's up? What's up, Canadan?
How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. I've got Product City in front of me. We've got Drinking Peace Tea. I don't know if they're paying attention watching this great live stream, but hey, I'm ready to be a shill for them. So
yeah, we need a new sponsor there on THP.
Yeah, man. Did you know that your middle last name has evil in it?
I've heard that on a few occasions.
Is this like this is a granddaddy thing, right? Like you play on that?
No, Dr. Evil is probably Finley. That's Darth Finley over there.
Do you feel like it's a challenge between you and him to who you can upset more? Be nice off the course and then just be a savage on it?
That's Finley's specialty for sure. Yeah. I'll leave that to him.
We're also joined today by Johnny Wonder. We have not met before. Johnny, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing good. We got
the
lots
world of wonder.
Here. The world of wonder.
Chris, welcome to the chat. How are you guys doing today over there in California? You getting any golf in?
I'm down at the Performance Center, and I am getting I'm hitting some balls. I wanted to kill half hour before we hopped on here, so I went and hit a couple balls, which was really nice. So not a bad place to hit a couple of nuggets.
I love it.
And I sent out 4 emails while Johnny was hitting balls.
So we've got Old and Stiff in the chat saying hello, saying that I'm trying to create some trash talk. Of course, it's what I do. I've already done my granddaddy. I've got nothing to prove at this point.
Canadan, the only winning captain in granddaddy history. And
yeah, I was told I'd never be invited back.
I need some intel on this granddaddy thing. So I've heard whispers about it. I was a WRX guy, so I was insulated from any fun stuff like that with Hackers Paradise. What is the granddaddy, and how do I start? How do I get in there?
So here's the real question: why isn't the belt behind you, Nevs?
The belt. I don't even know where the belt is right now.
Do you want to share a little bit about what the granddaddy is? You've been heavily involved.
Yeah, the granddaddy is the greatest amateur golf event out there, or at least that's what we try to do. A very, very special event where the Callaway marketing team, formerly known as the Zoo Crew, would take on a team from THP, and it's a full kind of whirlwind, full immersive experience here at Callaway HQ, including full bag fittings, presentations of unreleased embargoed product, a beautiful drive out to the desert, and a couple of rounds and matches out there at the Hideaway in Palm Desert. So it's an amazing event, and we built some great friendships through it, and also great for trash talking as well.
We got lots of people talking in the chat. We've got Chris here wondering if Johnny's trying to sneak into the next Zoo crew. So it sounds like, based on what he's hearing, he's probably worth trying to get in, eh?
Yeah, I'm lobbying for a position right now. I don't know who I have to. Apparently, Neville's the guy you have to butter up. So
you probably start with Finley.
I think you do a great job, Neville. I think you do an excellent job, and I think you deserve a raise.
Thanks, World of Wonder. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That sounded really sincere. For Canadan and JB, so are we able to see the questions coming into the chat? Is that on this live stream, or is that on the in the forums?
So if you can hear me, the feedback is coming through in the chat. We'll prop you guys up with it, and if we want to.
Oh, we lost him.
Canadan coming in and coming out.
He went dark on us.
He went dark, but we're still live.
Yeah, are we supposed to Are we supposed to see questions like coming down the right side of our screen, Dave?
That's what I was asking about. That's what I was hoping for, but I don't see that right now. But I think in the past, JB and Canadan would, quote, moderate the questions, which is probably not a bad thing coming from THP. So there, Dan's back. Looks like he's got a different computer or something going on.
How about that? A little closer, right?
Yeah, there you are.
Is that hitting bay 1 or is that hitting bay 2? Because I saw you're in one hitting bay. Did you move to another hitting bay or is it the same one?
We're having a little bit of battery power issues right now, but this is actually not a bad lineup right here. I like this.
Yeah.
What I think we'll do today is I'm just going to grab some comments that are coming in and just let you guys run with it. I think what I've seen the most so far is everyone wants to know about TCB. What is TCB? Where did it come from? I myself am an X-Forge CB guy. This is the 4-iron, the one head I don't have in my bag right now. My question is what, why, and how did that come about? Not just from a utilization standpoint, but based on the fact we always heard this is a tour or Euro use only. Why is it now available for everyone else?
Yeah, I'll take my first crack at it then. Maybe Johnny, you can fill in with what we're seeing out on tour in terms of who's playing it and what the reaction has been. But I think the history of the TCB even predates the World of Wonder here at Callaway. But it goes back to the Apex Pro and really goes back to Xander Schauffele. So when we brought out the 2019 Apex Pro, that had the face cup in the lower lofts. For some of the tour players, that is just too hot. It just goes too long. Good for a lot of low handicap golfers. Some of the tour players, they're getting 7 irons that go 200 yards, and that's not necessarily what they want. So we created this Apex Pro Dot, which we sold as kind of a limited edition. That was really to take the face cup out and to have something for the tour pros to play. And then there was a special Xander version of that, which was the double dot, which had a little bit straighter leading edge, a few changes on the shaping, a couple tweaks to the loft. And I don't really think any of the double dots saw the light of the day out there. There might be somebody I'm sure will chime in, like the Catalyst or something. He's saying he's got 4 sets of them at home. Who knows? But that was really made for Xander. So when we came around to making the X-Forged iron, that was really inspiration from Japan. So the X-Forged has been a Japan iron in the past and a lot of their influence. And they liked a little bit of longer blade length with more offset. And that has been popular, and some of the tour players have put it in. But some players like Xander wanted kind of a new version of the double dot where you had the tungsten weighting, the faceplate, and all that. So that's really where the Apex TCB came about. So then you kind of had the thing where you had an X-Forge and Apex TCB, which kind of looked alike, although they're sort of different. And we were like, if we launch these both at the same time, people are going to be super confused. So let's keep the TCB as kind of tour only. Europe wanted to go kind of in a different way than that. And so we made a few available to fitters and proponents. And then when Rom won the US Open, we're like, what are we doing? We got to put this out. We got to make it available on our website. So that's what we did. And from there, I'll pass it over to Johnny to talk a little bit about the tour reception for this iron.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think of the guys on tour. I mean, obviously, Rom has it in play. Xander has it in play. Dylan Fratelli has it in play. Sam Burns has it in play. I don't want to say every single one of our staff automatically puts that iron in play. There's a few guys that have the X-Forge CBs. Players like Brendan Grace and Taylor Gooch. Some of those guys play that in the long irons. But the reason why the guys like it, the guys that play it, if I'm going to take Dylan and Rom and Xander, for example, is the fact that it launches a little lower with plenty of spin. So you're getting the performance that you would get out of like a muscle back profile of a club, but you're getting a little bit more of the perimeter weighting. You're getting a little bit more of the forgiveness. And at that level, a little bit of forgiveness is a lot of forgiveness. So you're talking about, not toe strikes or heel strikes. You're talking about center heel strikes, center toe strikes. And I think a lot of that has to do with the CG placement. I mean, now that the CG or the weight isn't necessarily in the hosel like it is in like a classic iron, now we have those screw-in weights in the back to dial in the CG exactly per iron. I just think that the response and the feedback that the players are getting, it's a blade experience in a smaller profile player's forging. So, Rom, for example, took very little convincing when he switched over. To be fair, the irons he was coming over were sort of similar in shape. But the other thing that when I talked to guys like Dylan Fratelli, who was out at ECPC before the US Open, he really responded well to the turf interaction. There's something about that sole that the players really like. And it speaks to the importance of how, of the sole of the iron. You could have the prettiest iron on planet, but if the club doesn't get into the turf properly, it doesn't matter, because that's literally your interaction with the planet, it's interaction with the turf, and how the sweet spot presents itself to the ball is through the turf interaction. So, whether that was a happy mistake or not, I have no idea, but I believe that the TCB iron is going to be one of those irons that just kind of hangs around in players' bags for like 3 or 4 cycles. It just does exactly what they want it to do, and from set to set. So it's not like you have one good set and one awful set. They all kind of match up no matter what happens. If a guy gets a new set of TCBs after he wears out the other ones, they just seem to work seamlessly. There's no adjustment period. And irons like that are really, really hard to wiggle out of tour players' bags. So we'll see. That's just my prediction. Obviously, it's not great for sales, but for whatever comes after. But it's a really, really good iron. I'll leave it at that.
So when we're speaking about tour utilization and the way they adapt to it, I know that there's been a long-standing argument that tour guys typically lean towards that MB profile. They obviously don't miss that much. One of my experiences when hitting X-Forge CB as an example, and I'm sure this carries over into TCB, is just how truly dense and positive that feedback is when you make good, solid contact. It's not to say that Apex Pro can't accomplish something close to that, but there's definitely that feeling of just absolutely, for a golf term, nutting the golf ball when you make contact with that kind of iron. With that design element in play, has this been an easy bridge for a lot of those players who are moving away from muscle back and into this style of iron?
Well, I'll say this. I've seen more players go from an MB iron into a cavity back. Usually it's the other way around. Usually they go from cavity back to blades if they're going to switch profiles of irons. But I'm seeing more players that were kind of ride or die MB players start to mess around with these TCBs. And when I'm talking about players like, and everybody on our staff has come in the truck, literally everybody, even Phil has come on our truck to try it. Right? Like that looks cool. I want to try it. And whether they stick them in the bag or not remains to be seen, but everybody's curious about it. And I think for the tour players, a lot of like, for example, John Rahm, players are seeing how the ball's flying off of these things. And it's not like, oh my God, that flew off the face fast, or oh my God, that launch is really high. I think they're starting to see how the ball's spinning, and how it's flying with some spin and the launch it's coming out of. The best example I can give, and I actually spoke to somebody that was around Rahm, was the tee shot that Rahm hit into 16 on Sunday was a shot that he did not have before, which was that, and this is a combination of the iron and the ball, which was kind of like a flighted, hard draw holding back into the wind that didn't overcook and fly over the green and still had some spin. That's a combination of a great iron and a great ball. And, at the tour level, it literally always comes down to like one shot that makes or breaks a great iron. And that was Rahm's version of like the whole system working in one moment. Yeah, I mean, that was, if you go back and watch that shot, I mean, it's one of the coolest top tracers you ever seen in your life.
So I know everyone in the chat absolutely has to know about the new driver options, especially tour specific ones. We're going to get to that, but I really have a question that falls back on Johnny, and this has to do with the diversification of ChromeSoft. It started as a big movement, a great price point. It's expanded now into 3 specific styles of ball. My question to you, and I'm sure people are curious at home as well, is what is the adaptation from a tour perspective? Are they leaning more towards the X, or are you seeing some better dispersion between the tour guys?
most of our guys are Chrome Soft X players of the black box. And just for the people at home, it's literally the black box. There's not like some secret champagne room with unicorn balls in our truck. Like there is the black box and the LS boxes. Now, the reason why I think, Chrome Soft X is kind of a weird ball because it flies like a no spin ball off the driver. It really starts to make its money from 180 and in. And that's the one thing that I constantly watch is how players respond to a golf ball, especially out on tour. And, once again, I can fall back to Rom. It's very, very, very hard to make a golf ball that cuts through the wind that spins a lot. It's really hard to do. It's kind of like literally the best of both worlds. And this ball flies like a knuckler into the wind, but it has some spin on it. And that is not only attracting new players and reps from other OEMs will comment like, God, that ball's good in the wind. And then when this LS ball came out, people will go and watch Xander, for example, go hit balls in the range. Like we're at Kiowa and he's hitting balls into like a 45 mile an hour headwind. And, he's hitting these little flighted 7-irons to a flight that's like 170 out there and the ball's not moving in the wind at all. And, still hitting the green and stopping around the green. And people are taking notice. And, I think what'll happen, and I would have said this if I was still at WRX, whether you believe me or not. I think next year will be the first year that we have a significant amount of Callaway balls in non-Callaway staff players' bags. I just have a feeling. And I've seen some of the newer stuff that will be coming out next year. What Loper and those guys are doing with the golf ball stuff to me is probably I'm more excited about that than anything. I mean, it's some serious nerd stuff. So, I don't know. It's exciting time to be in the Callaway golf business. I'll say that.
Well, we're obviously all here for the nerd stuff. Speaking of that, going into more of a data market share kind of experience, the feedback you're getting from both pros and amateurs, Tev wants to know what that has been like for you from CSX LS at this point, based on the fact that it's been out for a little bit.
That's a Neville question.
Yeah, so the CSX, the LS ball is always going to be a little bit more of a niche ball, but we wanted to have it out there. Johnny was talking about how good it is on the wind. It's also outstanding off of the tee, really, really good ball speeds off the tee with the LS ball. So in terms of share, the red box or the Chrome Soft, the regular Chrome Soft by far, outsells both the X and the X LS, but that's fine. That's by design because the Chrome Soft is really a better ball for most players. And we've seen in our commercials, better ball, not just for Rom and Xander, better ball for everyone. And that's why we have 3 different models that can fit a lot of different players. So what you get for the feel for Chrome Soft, the length that you get off of the irons is huge with still a lot of spin around the greens. And then for your higher swing speed players, the X is going to be great. And then there are players who spin it a lot and need something lower spin. You've got the LS. So they all have their place in the market. But in terms of the share, we just recorded our highest market share ever in golf ball last month. So we're really, really proud for that. And the Chrome Soft is going to be the biggest part of that.
I have a big, heavy, impossible to answer question for you, Nevs. You ready for it?
Go for it, man. I'm used to the stumpers from you guys.
So this is going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt anyone in chat. So we have on THP, they've created an idea called the Dream Foursome. It's with True Temper and you guys at Callaway. Finley's getting involved. Mm-hmm. The idea around this is to enter, THPers have to pick 2 other THPers to take with them should they win. And you have to do it before you win. So you're basically publicly putting out there who you like the best. My question to you is if you were to get invited, since you are a THPer, which 2 guys from Callaway would you take to the Dream Foursome?
I thought you were going to say which 2 guys from THP, and I was going to be like JB and Canadan. I mean,
it's already me, and JB doesn't golf as much as he 2 Callaway guys.
I thought you were going to make me pick my favorite THPer, and that that would be impossible. That would be
obviously me.
Impossible. No, I would probably have to take my man Finley, of course, because his shit talking ability is second to none with the THPers. He's got a pretty good record, although I like my record from the Granddaddy too. Not too bad.
I'm gonna check with my producer. Is Finley eligible for this?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. You get one more. He's already going to be there. So my perspective is he's not eligible.
Yeah, and then you're playing a lot of 2-man alternate shot stuff. So I got to take my man Tyler Sheen, who hits it about 325 to 350 off of the tee. T-Pain, as I like to call him. Recently dropped at 68 at Colorado Golf Club. He's been on fire. So he and I.
This isn't about friendship. This is about success. This is
success, man. Success. Yeah,
I love it.
His driving with my putting, I think we'd be good to go. So those are my two guys. I love all of our Zoo Crew guys as well.
So here's the real question, Johnny. You're in the chat with us here. You are not a part of Nev's list. Does that hurt your soul?
No, I'm a new guy. So I'm still getting to know some people here. But I oddly enough, I have my team. And I think my team would be very, very good, but I'm not going to say it in public. But
you got to say it.
I would, if it was my team, it would be myself, Austin Tudor, who works for Dave.
Yeah.
Who's like the nicest, happiest, most beautiful human being you'll ever meet in your life.
Austin's a legend. I've golfed with him. Tell him I say hi.
Yeah, I love him. And then I'd take Garrett Pond, who is
GP. There you go.
I would. We might be dangerous. We might be dangerous.
So we got Morgan in the chat saying you're both taking J-Rod because he's a bag. Sandbagger.
You're guaranteed a win if you take J-Rod, and he was just out here visiting us this week. So yeah, no, J-Rod's a legend, of course. Fun fact though, I've never played golf with my man Johnny Wonder, so got to get that on the
We're gonna have to schedule that mano y mano. Maybe do something for the Hackers Paradise YouTube channel.
There you go. Just
as long as I'm getting the
awesome, obviously.
Just suit up and go kill each other somewhere. Yeah, that'd be great.
So hey, Nashville's also right here. We got some good golf, got some good product hit in the tech studio. Come on out, we'll have some fun.
That's right.
So I've been to Nashville, and it's a great city. So I would love to go to Nashville.
There you go. Book the flights. So I have Max LS here in front of me. I've been holding this question off for the whole show because everyone wants to know about it. Triple Diamond. DNFs, lead us into it.
Yeah, so we got 2 Triple Diamond models that are available to kind of go along with the Max LS for the better player. So we've got the Epic Speed Triple Diamond and the Triple Diamond LS. So I know there was a question. They've been popping up there, which is good. We can see them as they come in, but kind of the differences between the Max LS and the Triple Diamond. So with the Max LS, so I'm holding a custom version of it here with the blue and silver, which is pretty cool. You do have the slider, the lighter slider, so you've got some shot shape adjustments there. It is a 460cc shape. So it's a bigger shape than we would normally have, even for like a Sub-Zero in the past. And it definitely spins more than what we've had with Sub-Zero in the past. So this was really feedback from a lot of the tour players who don't want the lowest spinning product that is out there. They need something that they can control on the courts, and that's really where that Epic Max LS came in. Now, the Triple Diamond model you've got, and this is the LS version, but you've got a little bit different face profile here. You can see kind of that deeper face, more rounded. The face progression is different, and it kind of has you would call like a straighter leading edge for wedges, something similar there as well. So let me see if I can, kind of, the camera's backwards here, so it's messing with my mind. But a little bit of a different shape, 450cc. The Triple Diamond is going to be a little bit lower spin than the Max LS. So the Max LS we call it low spin rather than like the lowest spin. It's not really a Sub-Zero type of model. And then we have the LS version, which is going to be the lowest of the 3 for sure. And we've got 8 and 8 gram weight. So you got kind of that front back weighting with the Triple Diamond, and then the LS has 10 and 6 weight. So you've got some spread there in terms of adjustability and what you want to see in terms of the spin rates. So 3 really kind of better player models. And I'll throw it over to Johnny if you want to talk about what's going on tour in terms of who's playing what, and obviously the success we've had with Rahm and Xander in these 2 models.
Yeah, it's the triple diamond thing's an interesting thing because, you know, like in Hackers Paradise or any of the website, Gear Junkie website you go to, people think because it's a tour part, it's got to be faster, it's got to be super low spin. And to be honest, our triple diamond heads, they actually spin a little bit more than the retail heads, in my opinion. The triple diamond standard head actually is, you know, some of our high speed guys like Xander and Rahm, you know, they typically lean towards the LS, which once again isn't really super low spin. I consider super low spin one of those drivers that to get it up in the air, you have to launch it at like sub 2000, right? It's just the ball, just knuckling out there. These balls don't. They're, in my opinion, they sort of complement shot shapes for most of our guys on tour. So if you have a guy like Rahm that hits a really hard cut, the LS works for him, not because it's a fast face, because of the CG location on that driver allows him to hold it off a little longer and the ball stays on line and he can hit it high and low. Xander, for example, is in the triple diamond head. And one of the reasons he likes the triple diamond head is because when he does hit a draw, he doesn't lose too much spin. So his straight balls spin at 2,300 and the draw spin at 2,000. And those are the sort of the windows that the triple diamond heads kind of live in. At no point would I ever call either one of those a really, really low spinning head. You know, I would say they're more of a surgeon's tool driver than anything else. You know, most of the guys that, like if you take Akshay Bhatia, for example, who is really, really high spin, he has max LS because it's the lower spinning head for him across the face. So if he does hit it off the hill or whatever, he doesn't get those spikes and spin. So, you know, for the players out there that are interested in the triple diamond heads, you know, you're not getting those to try and knock a bunch of spin off of your driver. So if you're spinning one driver too much, don't think you're going to get into a triple diamond head and spin it, 1,000 RPMs lower. It's not going to happen. But it'll complement a shot shape for sure. And what I think people will enjoy is, especially for the better players, they're very, very good golf course drivers, the triple diamond heads, because they allow enough usable spin out there. They're, obviously fast off the face. They look good, but you can hit shots with them. And, that's why I love the triple. I have a triple diamond head myself, and I like it because I can maneuver my way around the golf course without the fear of like the serious no spin foul ball. They just they're not really built into that driver. So, it's like the difference between hitting an Apex 21 or a TCB. That's kind of the difference. You're going to hit one further and you're going to have a little bit more malleability with the other one. And the malleability side would fall with the triple diamond heads.
Yeah, you also have the draw bias thing that I wanted to bring up as well. So with the Epic Speed, the regular commercial model, that has quite a bit of draw bias, same with the Max. And these are really more neutral bias type of drivers. So as Johnny was saying, you can work them either way. Not necessarily fade biased, but a more neutral CG definitely than the commercial Epic Max or the commercial Epic Speed.
Yeah, just for the record, I've tested Epic Speed versus the triple diamond heads. And for me, I hit the Epic Speed actually further. So by about 3 or 4 miles per hour in ball speed than the triple diamond. The reason I went into triple diamond is because I hit a big sloppy draw and I don't hit them. My RPMs don't get too low where I can actually hit a draw and still control it. That's why I like that driver, is it still spins. So the people out there that are looking, if you're trying to hit big, high, nasty, no spin bombs, you may or may not get it with the triple diamond head. That's not what it's designed to do. It's designed to kind of help you maneuver around the golf course. If anything, like I said, it's a very good golf course driver.
So we had 3 heads to begin with. We have these triple diamond designs that are coming out. What is a challenge for you trying to share the experiences with those folks who are looking for new drivers, and how difficult it is to avoid getting the water to be muddied too much between the different styles of heads?
Yeah, I think that's why you see us that we launched these much later, and we kind of started it really kind of under the radar at places like Club Champion and a lot of the high-end fitters who could really take advantage of and really could understand the differences between the triple diamond and the regular models. Because if we had launched in January with 5 different models, I mean, that's super confusing. Already having 3 with the Max LS being a really new model, something we've never had something like that before. That was challenging, just to get the word out by those 3. So this is more for the THP type of crowd, and people will go into a fitter and are asking about it. So yes, we're going to have it on the website and we're going to let people know about it. And obviously Rom one with it also, but it's not something that's going to be, you're going to walk into your local Golf Galaxy and there's going to be 20 triple diamonds sitting in there. You're still going to have to go out and find it if you need it, because the 3 drivers that we have commercially are a great fit for probably 90% of golfers or more.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's also a club that you wouldn't want to buy triple diamond off the rack. It's almost like you wouldn't want to buy TCBs necessarily. Sorry, guys, the text messages are coming and blowing my brains out. So you don't want to buy those off the rack. Like you would want to get fit for that particular iron because of its nature. Like, you have to know why you're going into that certain iron or that certain driver. It's not something you just pull off the rack, take on to your Saturday game with your boys and tee it up and let it fly. It requires a little bit more nuance. That's why, if you're looking at those heads, I would encourage you not to buy it off of eBay in a year. I'd, go get fit for it and, do it right. And then you'll actually maybe be able to take advantage of it.
I'm putting it on the screen.
Okay. We've got something coming up here. Looks like from the forum, I believe. It says, can't wait to get wedge information as well as this triple diamond stuff. We have behind us in the picture, if you can see it, Jaws Forged. Any insight going on there? What is Rom playing? What are the guys on tour playing? What does Jaws Forged look like?
You want to talk about Rom, Johnny, then I'll talk about the wedge itself?
Yeah, so, once again, to separate the Jaws Md5 versus the Jaws Forged, we already make the Jaws Md5 are already a very soft, makeup. So, Forged historically has been like a softer feel. The biggest difference that I see on tour, the guys that respond to the Jaws Forged wedges, literally it's because of the shape. It's got a very square leading edge, maybe a little bit of a smaller thumbprint than MD5 does, but that's literally it. The feel, ball to ball, it's kind of the same feel. It's kind of the same user experience as our MD5. So like Rom liked the shape, and he liked the leading edge, and he liked the fact that they 52, 56, and 60 all came in a C grind. So that's why he responded to. We don't have a lot of guys out on tour that use the Jaws Forge. Rom's the only one that comes to mind, which is a pretty cool one to have in the bag. But, I can only think of 3 or 4 guys on our staff that have them. Most of the guys are in the MD5 raw. So yeah, on tour, it's a shape thing. It's literally just the shape. It has nothing to do with the feel. They don't spin more. What they have is curb appeal because, John Rahm's the best player in the world and just won the US Open with him. So that obviously makes the gearheads, that for me, if I wasn't working for Callaway, I would want them only because Rahm won the US Open with them. Like, if I'm being honest, because they're cool. They have a cool shape.
So this wedge came from our Japan team, where we've done some of the forged wedges in the past. And one of the things that they wanted to do, and maybe a little bit hard to see on this picture, but progressive CG. So it does have a little bit of a thicker top line than what you're going to see with the Jaws Md5. So the CG is a little bit higher, and that's somewhat akin to the T grind. If some of you guys saw, Roger brought out that T grind that was out on tour, which had a little bit of a higher CG, and some players like that because it helps knock things down. Now it does have the Jaws groove in the 56 and 60, and then in the 52 it's also the Jaws groove, but the different wall angle, so the 20-degree wall angle. And like Johnny was saying, it has the C grind. So there's, typically we would not have a C grind on a 52 degree, for example, and it's a C grind with a little bit more bounce. So it's a 12 degree C grind on the 56 versus a 5608. So a little bit more bounce, a little bit more playable. Obviously it's forged and some people like that, but the feel, you're not going to be able to feel a big difference between these and the Jaws Md5. So it's more about the shape, the CG, and then the grind as well.
We got plenty of comments coming in talking about how great the shape looks.
Yeah.
There's also something I was looking back into a little bit. People were asking about your 10 model putters and whether there'd be some neck variants coming through. Or any knowledge into that?
That I'm not sure of. I mean, I know we already have quite a few options out there, and Rom, winning with the white hot definitely got some buzz on the Rossi there. So I'm not aware of any new 10 neck variants coming out.
Okay. Make sure to ask any more questions you guys might have in the chat while we have Johnny and Dave here to answer. Any interesting bag developments in the bag for you guys this year? I'll lead with you, D Nevs. Are you rocking, let me guess, Apex Pros?
I did try the Apex Pro for a while, and I thought I was going to be a combo set guy because, this year we went all in on the kind of double animal style with the combo sets. We've got the sweet spot, and we got the player, and we got the mixed set and the triple play. So I was like, oh, I'm going to go triple play. I'm going to go DCB. I'm going to go Apex. I'm going to go Apex Pro. But then, I've played the Apex, the standard in the past, and I'm kind of a stock guy, just standard length, standard lie. And I hit them better. And I know Johnny had kind of a similar experience that the DCB were a little too low spin for me. They went further, but a little too low spin. And then the forgiveness that I was getting with the Apex 21. So I got standard model across the board there.
Okay. And Johnny, you're in Apex as well, or did you mention something different?
No, I started off with a set of X-Forge CBs, like a combo with MBs, and liked them a lot, and just literally more for content purposes, so I could write an article and speak with some sort of experience. I'm like, okay, I'm going to try and jerry-rig a set of Apex together and see if I can make them work. And I got a set 4-through pitching wedge, but I bent them all 2 degrees weak. And then I bent all the offset out of them. And then I put, X100 shafts in them. And I'm telling you what, I'm having a ridiculous amount of fun with these irons because I was never a really good 7 to wedge player, but I've never been a great 4, 5, 6 iron player, at least since I've gotten older. And I've hit more quality shots 4, 5, and 6 than I have, in the last 2 months than I have in probably 10 years. And the combination of those irons, the way that they're kind of put together, and a spinny golf ball, because I play the Chrome Soft X, it's going to be very hard to get those irons out of my bag. I can't imagine having – the only knock I would say is I wish I could hit the short irons a little lower, but that's like being nitpicky because you can still hit them plenty low. I just, the MBs, you can hit knee-high fastballs with them, but with these ones you can't. But, my scores are going down and I'm hitting way more greens, and, I can't be too picky. But those are – you can read, I've written like 3 articles on my experience with these things. I can't say enough about how good these irons are. Like I love them, and I'm a gearhead. I should have TCBs or some weird combo, but the ones I have right now, I love them.
We have Keenan in the chat from True Temper saying, "We'll pay you later for the X100 shout out."
What's up, Keenan?
My X-Forge CB has the Project X right now, the IO. Great shaft.
Those are good shafts. Those are really good shafts. Yeah.
My plans were to reshaft, and they just keep going. So I'm not arguing with the results at this point. I know people are out there probably wondering where they can get their hands on some of this new product that's coming out. What's the best place they can go and take a look? And you had mentioned Club Champion is a good fitter to go and experience some of the more unique offerings.
Well, we have them on the website now, which we didn't before, you know, and Radaman's giving me all kinds of heat for that earlier in the year. Like, where do I get these? How can I get these TCBs? I got to find them. You know, he's driving 400 miles to get himself a set and all that. So good news. They're on our website. You can get the Triple Diamond. You can get the Jaws Forged. You can get the TCB out there as well. In terms of getting fitted, yeah, I think your best bet is to go to maybe one of the specialty fitters like a True Spec or a Club Champion. Places like that are going to have these, and some of the specialty off-course shops. And I think most of the THPers can probably find one of those. But that's probably where you're going to be able to unlock the performance and see if they really work for you. I mean, of course, there's some people who just want to get their hands on them, so we got them on the website as well. And they are, I will say, they are limited. You know, not just saying that, but the TCB in particular is very, very tight in terms of inventory, because these have been huge out on tour, and I don't anticipate once they sell out for us to put them back up. I would be surprised if we do. So they're up there for now, you know, primarily because Rom won and we wanted to kind of put stuff from his bag out there, but when they're gone, they'll be gone.
Well, we won't take up too much more of your time. If there's any final thoughts, any granddaddy digs you want to take, DNevs, now's your chance to do it while we got an audience. Otherwise,
I guess
thanks so much,
my
guys.
question is, the granddaddy team, has it been formed, or is this the same team from before that kind of got shut out last year? What is the plan?
We'll send you a password reset for your THP account. It's fine. Are we fully formed at this point, Josh?
No, there's 3 or 4 spots.
I believe there are at least, 3 or 4 more spots. So anyone who's watching along, interested in Callaway product, wants to take down DNevs, he looks like a guy you want to take down. Make sure you do get on the forum and pay attention. Not to mention, Johnny, you are a THPer as well. You might want to get in those contests. It sounds like Zoo Crew, being on the fact that neither of you guys would pick each other, might be better off trying to be a THPer for this one.
Well, I might try and make my own team then.
Okay.
when they don't invite you, you just bully your way in. I'll try and figure out how to finagle my way in there.
Hey, we can go and provide commentary. I'm basically inviting myself at this point. So, well, thanks, guys. Really appreciate your time. I know everyone watching along does as well. Johnny, thanks for all your updates on the tour, and DNevs, keep doing what you do, man.
Yeah, lots of updates out there on the web, and we'll hop into that forum thread too if people have additional questions that we didn't get to. But always appreciate being with you guys, and thanks for all the support over many, many years from THP. Love you guys.
I got a call coming in. Sorry about that. Yeah, thank you. I'm like I said, I've been getting into your forums and talking to some of the forum members, and it's a very, very passionate crowd of gear nerds. So I love hanging out at THP in the forums, and it's been a lot of fun so far.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, guys.
See you guys.